Welcome into Titan Stadium as Lee Summit West will finish off their regular season at home facing off against the Blue Springs South Jaguars. As we were watching the coin toss at the middle of the field to see who will elect to receive and defer. Coming to this game, Lee Summit West is fresh off of a loss on the road against Lee Summit North. They fell to 3-5 on the season. They lost that game by a score of 37-17, but it was definitely closer at times if anyone watched that game or was at that game last week. So Blue Springs South will elect to receive the ball here. So look at the ball first to start this one out. Talking about Blue Springs South, the Jaguars come into this game 6-2 on the season, fresh off of a 30-20 win over their rival, the Blue Springs. They come in ranked as the number 10 team in the 8-10 varsity top 25, so they are definitely looking to make a playoff push this season as both these teams wrap up their regular season. So it'll be Blue Springs first. Looking at this team, they have a talented backfield with two great running backs in KJ Hawkins and Darius Morgan. They really like to get those guys going, expect a lot of early inside runs from the Jaguars to get that offense's feet set in this game. Aiden Wilhelm is the starting quarterback for the Jaguars. He's got a really solid arm, can beat you over the top, but if you play too much man coverage and drop back, he will use his legs to pick up a first down. Something to keep an eye out going into this game, as Wilhelm definitely can get mobile in the pocket. So we are all ready and set to go here. The final Friday night of the 2024 regular season is upon us, as the Titans will try to wrap up this season on a win, and the Jaguars will try to keep their impressive season going with a road win to end the season. Stadium gets rocking for this kickoff. As the sun has gone down, it is a crisp October night here at Titan Stadium. As we're off. A low kick that's going to bounce it around the 20. Fielded on the hop by the Jaguars, breaking to the 20-yard line, and then brought down by a gang of Titans. So that is where this Jaguars offense will take over. Another player to watch out for is Gary Hill, number 11, the 6'1", 190-pound junior wide receiver for the Jaguars. He's got a lot of speed. A week ago, had a couple of really nice deep receptions for the Jags in their win over Blue Springs. We'll see what the game plan is for the Jaguars tonight, if it'll be pass heavy or run heavy. Start this game in the backfield will be KJ Hawkins, the 5'8" senior, lined up to the left of Wilhelm. Wilhelm sends a tight end in motion. And there's that inside run early right up the middle. Hawkins goes for a short gain of around 3. We'll set up a 2nd and 7 for the Jaguars. They'll go 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. They like to keep their receivers spread out, allowing them to run the ball. But for the Titans, stacking the box early, anticipating the run. And there will be another run right off the bat, and the Titans are all over this one, meeting Hawkins at the line of scrimmage and driving him backwards. A solid second down play by the Titans defense. We'll make it now 3rd and 7 for Blue Springs South. An early 3rd and long for the Jaguars. Receiver comes in motion. It's going to be Gavin Nash. Wilhelm's going to roll out right, evading the pressure, looking downfield, trying to find anything. Throws back across his body. He's got a man open, and that's going to be hauled in for a first down. Caught by number 4, Wyatt Denny. Denny just found a soft spot in the zone coverage and sat down in there. Great awareness by Aiden Wilhelm to roll out and find him open, even though he had to throw back across his body. The Jaguars will speed things up here. High snap, handled well. It's going to go to a quick pass caught by number 13. And then brought down immediately. Something you'll see a lot out of this Jaguars offense. They like to move quickly, but it's a lot of short, quick passes or inside runs. As it looks like Darius Morgan checks into the game for the Jaguars. You could call him the backup running back, but they arguably run them equally, as he's going to have a handoff to the right and cut back left. Near the first down, he's going to be brought down from behind, diving for it, and he should have enough for the first. As the right sideline official will move the chains. Good enough for a first down. A great first run there out of Darius Morgan. They'll continue to speed things up, trying to keep this Titans defense on their heels in this opening drive of the game. Takes a deep shot, does Wilhelm. He's got a man in one-on-one coverage. That's going to be intercepted by the Titans. Wilhelm liked the one-on-one downfield and gave it a chance, but intercepted for Lee Summit West. Number 31 with the interception for the Titans. Great ball tracking downfield. It was a one-on-one. Wilhelm took the chance, but unsuccessful. Great momentum shift early for the Titans as they will be set up with a stop on the opening possession. They'll get the ball to start the second half. It's great to win that opening drive. A chance to score here. Be the first team to score and getting the ball out of the half is always ideal for your team. They're going to go two receivers to the left, one to the right. It's going to be a handoff up the middle for Duncan. Excuse me, that is the backup running back. Snipe getting a carry there. So Duncan, the premier back for the Titans, but it was Snipe there on the first carry. A gain of around 6. So 2nd and 4 for Lee Summit West. Titans a little bit of a counterpart to the Blue Springs offense, as they will not be staying in the hurry up. They should slow this game down a little bit. The receiver comes into motion, sets up at quarterback, and will hand the ball off as Edwards rolled out, but there was a flag down. It was a handoff to Alexander Duncan, who got a great gain there. It would have been enough for a first down, but this should be coming back. An interesting formation there for the Titans. It's going to get him with a false start on Lee Summit West. So an interesting play call there. We saw Edwards, the quarterback, motion Chris Harris to the backfield, who then took his spot at quarterback. Edwards rolled out left into the slot. They ran that Wildcat a few times the last couple of weeks, but not to that tone. So now 2nd and 9 for the Titans. This team all season long has been able to move the ball fairly well, especially recently, but penalties have definitely still been a problem for them. The receiver will come in motion. Edwards will fake the handoff, dropping back, but there's a lot of pressure. He's going to have to get rid of it. Got a man open, low pass. It's going to skip in and be incomplete. Trying to go to number 10 there, Ben Wooden. Had the one-on-one man coverage being covered. So 3rd and 9 now after the incompletion. Great man coverage there out of the Jaguars. So the Titans will set up now. 3rd and 9, stacking the line of scrimmage. Two receivers stacked to the left of Edwards. Edwards rolls out that way, looking downfield and lets it go. A great throw that's going to be caught by Lee Summit West. It was double coverage, able to haul it in as Chris Harris, number 9, with an impressive catch. The Jaguars were all over that play, but a really great back shoulder throw there by Dawson Edwards, able to just float it right over the defenders. You really can't ask for more than that from the starting quarterback, as he finds his popular target. It's been his go-to guy down the stretch this season, Chris Harris. Need to get him going early. It's going to be a snap that he's going to pitch it forward. Not a lot of room to work with here. Makes a couple men miss on a really good juke back as Harris again seeing some action. So it was a jet sweep there, but it was a forward pitch, so it counts as a pass. Harris on the reception, able to pick up a handful. We'll set up a 2nd and 6 now for Lee Summit West. They'll try to keep this drive going. Tavion Sims lines up in the slot to the right of Edwards. Sims is kind of a gadget player for Lee Summit West, but resides in the slot more than anything now. This time it's going to be a handoff up the middle with a great hole and hit hard there by Duncan. So he's going to run through and right by a handful of defenders for a first down as this drive is rolling for Lee Summit West. Great blocking up front by the Titans offensive line. Sprung Duncan for a solid gain. Some substitution here for the Titans. They'll move some things around. It's good to see Dawson Edwards in at quarterback. He's been shooken up a handful of times this season, but still standing strong at the quarterback position as they'll bring Harris in motion. Harris will actually line up at the quarterback spot. It's a high snap handled well by Harris, who's just going to save it and run forward. I don't know if that was a designed quarterback keeper for Harris or just a kind of a panic off of the bad snap. So lucky to get away with that one for the Titans and not fumble the ball. It's the second time they've tried to do that to bring Harris into the backfield and send the quarterback Edwards out into a receiver position, but both times, first time a penalty, this time a bad snap. So the Titans not really getting that wildcat formation going. Edwards will have two receivers to his left, one to the right. Sims in his slot to the left. Edwards is going to drop back and pitch it to Snipe out of the backfield on a quick dump off, but nowhere to go, just dancing around in the backfield. Maybe getting back to the line of scrimmage. I believe he's going to lose a yard. So third and around 13 now for Lee Summit West. Just trying to get some positive yards there on second down, but Snipe had nowhere to go as the linebackers for Blue Springs South was all over it. Titans taking some time here, getting to the line of the scrimmage. Blue Springs South likes to run this 3-3-5 defense. Edwards rolls out right, trying to buy time. Great pressure by the linebacker, just dumping it off to Snipe once again. This time getting a few more than the last, but not enough for a first down, as it's going to be fourth and around 8 for the Titans. Like I was saying, that 3-3-5 that the Jaguars like to run allows them to walk both of their outside linebackers down to the line of scrimmage, giving them almost a 5-man front, which can be really successful when they send both of those linebackers at getting to the quarterback. Also can confuse the quarterback when they want to back him off. So Edwards is going to have to be on his A game here, watching when they come and when they drop back into coverage. As they're showing that look, and they're going to send them both, and it's just going to be the punt for Edwards here. So 4th and 8. We've seen that a handful of times out of the Titans. Great opportunity to down it here at the 4-yard line. So a great punt there by the quarterback, Dawson Edwards, getting it done in his secondary position, the punter. So back comes the Jaguars offense after the interception. Titans unsuccessful on getting points off the turnover. Still showed some signs of life on that opening drive for the offense. One thing we got to go back to, though, is those wildcat plays. They tried it twice, 2 times unsuccessful, and both times losing yards. So got to wonder if they're going to keep going back to that wildcat look or go away from it as this game goes on. So the Jaguars will set up shop on their own 4-yard line after the great punt by the quarterback for the Titans, Dawson Edwards. Aiden Wilhelm with the interception on the first drive will look to turn the game around for himself here on drive number 2. Wilhelm is going to take the snap and keep it himself. There's using his legs. He's got a lot of speed, breaks one tackle, and got enough for a Jaguars first down after the gain of 12. We're already down to about 4 minutes in the first quarter. This first quarter has flown by. Both teams keeping the ball on the ground, keeping this clock running most of the game so far. Tight end goes in motion and then motions back to the left. High snap, handled well by Wilhelm. Looking downfield, launches it downfield. Got a man open. It's going to be caught. And then brought down immediately is number 4. That's going to be Wyatt Denny. Had a catch on the first drive. He's got another catch here. Able to run the seam all the way down the field, splitting the safety and the defensive back. Getting just enough separation, and a great long throw there by Aiden Wilhelm, the quarterback for the Jaguars. similar look to the play before when they threw the interception. This time they're successful. They're going to hurry it up and hand it up off the middle on the draw. A lot of room here for Hawkins, who's going to get close to another first down. We'll see if they'll give it to him, and they do. So Hawkins with an 11-yard carry after the over 50-yard completion as this drive is moving for the Jaguars. They are already almost in the red zone in 2 plays. They've gone for their own, 3 plays. They've gone from their own 4-yard line to the 25. Another handoff here for the Jaguars. This time held to a gain of around 4. Will set up a 2nd and 6 for Blue Springs. For this Titans defense, they're going to have to limit those explosive plays that the Jaguars are capable of making. But it's going to be a long night for this Titans defense. That hurry up, the quick pace of the Jaguars is something you have to match that intensity on the defense. You can't get lackadaisical late in this game. Wilhelm's going to launch it deep to the right side. One-on-one coverage has got a man open, diving for it, but incomplete. Wilhelm showing that he's willing to take those one-on-one man coverage shots downfield. It was close that time, but just a little bit too much on it. Tegan Williams, the intended receiver, not able to get to it. So 3rd and 6, a big third down here for the Titans. This defense trying to hold the Jaguars off the scoreboard. Wilhelm's going to roll out left and keep it. Just dancing around in the backfield, trying to find space. Has got one. Cutting back to the right and then brought down from behind, but good enough for a Jaguars first down. Aiden Wilhelm just making everyone miss in the backfield. He's got really quick feet, and he's extremely mobile. Almost Johnny Manziel. It's going to be a handoff up the middle with a decent gap, and he's going to walk into the end zone. That's going to be a touchdown for the Jaguars. KJ Hawkins with the touchdown. A rushing touchdown of around 7 yards. Great blocking up front on back-to-back plays for the Jaguars. They will land the first strike in this game and go up 6-0 on the Titans. The opening possession for the Jaguars ended in an interception, so a great turnaround for them. Their second drive, landing it in the end zone. KJ Hawkins going pretty much untouched into the end zone. The extra point now for Blue Springs. It's going to be up and right down the middle, so that'll make your score Blue Springs South 7, Lee Summit West nothing. We're going to take a quick break and be right back after this message from the sponsors here on 810varsity.com.
Get a shake with your points and some fries on the side with your points. You get more with every order. Woo! Get a Whataburger or a patty melt or some breakfast with the point. You get more with every order. Get a biscuit or a brownie, but no matter what you pick, you get more. Like your favorite Whataburger or whatever, 'cause it all gives you more with Whataburger Rewards.
Welcome back to Titan Stadium as the Jaguars just went on top 7-0. It was an impressive drive for the Jaguars. They started on their own 4-yard line and ended it in the end zone. Aiden Wilhelm connected with wide receiver Wyatt Denny on around a 60-yard completion on that drive, which got him into Titans territory. And from there, and it was all Wilhelm using his legs as well as Darius Morgan, and then KJ Hawkins finishing it off with the rushing touchdown. So this kick is away, and it's going to be returned by the Titans. Not a great return for Lee Summit West as they're going to take over on their own 10-yard line. The first drive for the Titans, they were moving pretty steadily and then tripped up a couple of times near midfield and had to punt it away. A couple of plays that got blown up in the backfield never really got going. The bad snap when Chris Harris came in at quarterback in the Wildcat formation. And then the dump off to Nehemiah Snipe, who had nowhere to go in the backfield as the Jaguars had blitzed him on that play, so any dump off to the running back was just smothered. So the Titans will try it again. They had the early interception. The Titans with a chance to get on top and then had to give it right back, and now they watch the Jaguars take the lead. So what will be the answer for Lee Summit West? Some movement up front, but no flags. Edwards is going to drop back and launch it, and over the head of the intended receiver, trying to connect with Ben Wooden. Had his man beat, but just a little bit too much. A tough back corner shot there for Dawson Edwards, just trying to throw it over the defender. Similar to the pass he hit on the first drive where he connected with Chris Harris, but this time unsuccessful. Titans will take their time here. We've been watching the Jaguars really speed things up on offense. The Titans will run a slower momentum than Blue Springs. So Edwards will take the snap. It's going to be a handoff up the middle. He's going to keep it himself and then throw it out to his intended receiver. It's going to be Chris Harris, but this time it goes out of bounds. He's hit as he tried to deliver the pass. So 3rd and 10 now for the Titans as this drive has gotten going quickly, as it is almost have to punt it away here. They need to get something going on this 3rd and 10. We'll go 2 backs in the backfields for Edwards. Going to take the snap, drop back, rolling out to his right, throwing back across his body, and then just incomplete. And the pressure was too much. There's that 3-3-5 from the Jaguars, sending both those outside linebackers. They sent 5. Just not enough time for Edwards to really find anyone downfield, and they're going to be forced to punt this one out of arguably their own end zone. So watch the Jaguars' punt defense here. They might send pressure trying to block this. So Edwards just not with enough time on that 3rd down to really find anybody open. Forces the 4th and 10, and the punt is away. A good punt for the Titans here. One of his better ones of the season is going to be fielded around the 40-yard line. Breaking to the right is the return man, who's going to run into a Titan and get hammered. They'll almost bounce off of each other. They hit each other almost as hard. Solid return there by Gavin Nash. Gavin Nash is the 5'10", 170-pound junior. He's a receiver for him, getting some action there at punt return for the Jaguars. So here comes the Jaguars in their 2nd attempt, or 3rd attempt of the game. They've gone interception and touchdown. They're already up 7-0. Trying to stroll into the playoffs with a good win here. It's going to be a quick fake handoff throw to the guy we were just talking about, Gavin Nash, getting involved once again on the quick RPO. As Titans fans saw the ball come out late, the officials are going to rule him down by contact, saying they blew the play dead before the ball came out. Of course, the Titans fans want the turnover here, but it'll be a gain of 8 there for Gavin Nash. Wilhelm will move the tight end to the left side. Expect the handoff up the middle here. And they will. Great cut back there by Morgan. Able to get enough for the 1st down. The Jaguars really just don't do a lot of outside zone plays, any kind of pitch plays, sweeps. It's a lot of just inside zone, ISO, and draws right up the middle. By the end of this game, they want to wear down on that interior of the Titans' defensive line. So we'll go 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left here for Wilhelm. It's going to be another handoff. This time, fighting for a little bit. A gain of more than I thought initially. I even got thrown off there. It was A.J. Fain tackled what was a receiver. I thought that was the running back out of the backfield, so a solid gain there by Morgan once again, picking up a handful. Should set up a 2nd and around 6 as K.J. Hawkins checks back in at running back for the Jaguars. Wilhelm will hand it off to Hawkins. Once again on the inside carry. as the story of this drive has just been running the rock. We'll set up a 3rd and around 3 for Blue Springs South. They'll continue to spread their receivers out and really rely on the interior of their offensive line as well as the tight end. But it looks like they're just going to let the quarter end here as we hit double zeros in the first quarter. The Jaguars are knocking on the door to try to score again, but they're up 7-0 on Lee Summit West. We're going to take a quick break here at the end of the quarter and have a word from our sponsors here on 810varsity.com.
Dad, don't forget about my new cleats.
Sweetie, I can't make it to Dick's this week.
Have you heard of Dix.com?
Have I heard of Dix.com? Have I heard of Dix.com? Whoa.
Don't overthink it. Let's go shopping.
Actually, what I need are some cleats.
How about one of these?
Great.
Done. Anything else?
Now, golf club? Not for me.
Yeah,
For a
of
friend.
course, of course.
Anyone impressed with how fast that was?
Yeah,
I know. I went to Dix.com.
Thank you. I love you.
Wow, I went to Dix.com. Ever heard of it?
Yeah, I told you about that.
How does this place make pizza that does that? Honestly, no idea. But I'm going to start looking into it one slice at a time. Buy one single topping pizza and get the second 50% off. It's not crazy. It's Casey's.
Welcome back to Titan Stadium. So we will flip sides of the field and start quarter number 2 here on the final regular season game of the season for both these teams. Blue Springs South finds themselves on top 7-0 with a chance to extend their lead. They'll send 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Continue to move that tight end around. It's going to be handoff up the middle once again for Blue Springs South. That's been the answer all game long. Cutting back after breaking through a tackle and then bowling ball forward to the 9-yard line. KJ Hawkins with an impressive run, just running down the middle on this defense as the Jaguars are trying to assert their run game, showing their power run game. You know, both their running backs are only 5'8", but they run like they're 6'3". It's going to be another handoff. Excuse me. Wilhelm's going to keep it himself and use his legs to the outside edge and then walk into the end zone for a touchdown Jaguars. Aiden Wilhelm, they've been handing it off up the middle over and over again. They got the Titans to cheat in on the inside run, and this time Wilhelm keeps it himself and takes off untouched on the 9-yard scamper into the end zone. That'll extend the Jaguars' lead 13-0 over the Titans. As the extra point to follow now for Blue Springs South. As this Titans defense is going to need to wake up here in their final game of the regular season. They're going to watch themselves. They've fallen down now 13-0. They've been behind in games before and found ways to come back. The PAT is up, and it is good. That'll make the lead now. Blue Springs South 14, Lee Summit West 0. So we're going to take a quick break and have a word from our sponsors and be right back here on 810varsity.com. Welcome back to Titan Stadium as Blue Springs South has jumped out on top here early in the second quarter, 14-0 over the Titans. And the Titans have only had 2 possessions on offense so far, neither one of them getting by midfield. So the Titans will try to slow things down here on offense, or maybe they need to speed things up. But they still have a lot of time left here, even before halftime, to get right back into this game. They can't buy out this early, as I really would like to see the Titans establish their run game like Blue Springs has. Alexander Duncan and Tavion Sims, as well as Nehemiah Snipe, can all run the rock very well. This kick is off and away, and it'll go over the head of Sims for the touchback. As there's some jawing going on here as the officials blowing this one, trying to separate the players. Been a fairly clean game so far. Not a whole lot of penalties, only a handful, maybe 1 or 2 so far in this game. I know we had a false start earlier, but the officials have kind of been letting them play so far in this game. As the Titans will take the field, They're going to have Nehemiah Snipe start out in the backfield. Snipe a week ago only had a handful of carries. He's already seen more action in the first half of this game than he had all of last week. As Harris will do that motion and at quarterback, and he's going to hand it off to Snipe, working to the right. He's got a little bit of space, and then fighting for yards. It's going to be a gain of around 4 there for Nehemiah Snipe. Set up a 2nd and 6 for the Titans. So that's the third time we've seen that formation out of Coach Horn. This time, probably the most successful. No hiccups running the play. Snipe will check out. Duncan will come back in. Alexander Duncan's not had very many carries in this game. I think you really want to establish him. You don't need to hurry. You just need to find a way to get points on this drive. And I think just feeding it to your 5'9", 185-pound senior running back who's been successful all season long could be in the book here, as they will go to him up the middle, but not a lot of room to work with. He's going to fall forward for a gain of around 3. We'll set up a 3rd and about 4 for the Titans. We'll mark him even closer than I thought. So 3rd and 3 here for Lee Summit West. A big 3rd down, trying to stay in this game. Already down 14-0 early. Breakfield number 1 will check in for the Titans. He comes in a lot at 3rd down. 6'4", 170-pound senior. Definitely gives you a size advantage at the wide receiver. As Ben Wooden will check in at the bottom of the screen, and then they're going to have a timeout here taken by Lee Summit West on this important 3rd and 3. With that timeout, we're going to take one with them and be right back here on 810varsity.com.
What's up, Auntie? Did you get the basketball shoes I need for tryouts this weekend?
Oh, dude,
It's okay.
I'm not going to be able to make it to Dick's this week.
You can just click on Dix.com.
Dicks.com. Dicks.com.
Hi, welcome to Dix.com.
Wow, they're beautiful.
Let's go shopping.
Are you kidding me? I'm in ball heaven. I like you. Look at all these cups. I really like you. I don't even live near water.
Whoa, these arrived so fast.
I know, right? You're about to get posterized. I'm going to shatter that
Come on,
glass.
let's go.
Dicks.com.
I love the sound of someone getting their money's worth. I mean, where else are you going to get ahs like that for 99 cents? Only in Casey's country. It's not crazy. It's Casey's. For a limited time, get medium fountain drinks for just 99 cents.
Welcome back to Titan Stadium. It's an important 3rd and 3 here for Lee Summit West. Down 14-0, trying to find a way to get points here on their first drive of the second quarter. Receiver comes in motion. It's going to be Harris. Edwards is going to roll out to his left, throwing back across his body. It's going to be intercepted by the Jaguars and then walked into the end zone for a pick 6. They've ran that play a handful of times over the last couple of weeks as Blue Springs South was all over it, jumping the bubble screen. It's been a very successful play for Lee Summit West all year long. But for the first time this season, we see a defense able to read and react, jumping it for a really impressive pick 6 for Blue Springs South. That'll make the score 20-0 Blue Springs as they have jumped out to a 20-point lead out of nowhere. This game was just 0-0 around the 5-minute mark in the first quarter. 21 points put up by Blue Springs, and around 8 minutes of gameplay as the extra point is up and good. That'll extend the Blue Springs lead to 21. So the Titans will have to start over, hit the reset button when we come back from this break here on 810varsity.com.
Get a shake with your points and some fries on the side with your points. You get more with every order. Get a Whataburger or a patty melt or some breakfast with the point. You get more with every order. Get a biscuit or a brownie, but no matter what you pick, you get more. Like your favorite Whataburger or whatever, 'cause it all gives you more with Whataburger Rewards.
Welcome back to Titan Stadium as the crowd has gotten quiet in this one as they've seen themselves fall down 21-0, but still a lot of football still to be played. Lee Summit West will have to mount a really impressive comeback to pull this one out, but never say never as we're still early in the second quarter. This offense just needs to settle in, find some successful plays when they can. This kick is going to be off and away over the head of Sims in the end zone, so a touchback will be taken by the Titans. So it's a play on that pick six going back to it. We've seen a lot out of Edwards. They do the hard play action. He rolls out to his left and then almost kind of jump throws back across his body. And a lot of times the defense kind of flows with him that direction, allowing him to be able to pull that play off. And usually the receiver would have been Harris, is wide open, just kind of sitting there on the far sideline, able to run for usually a solid gain. But the one downside, if you think about it, Edwards is really just turning around and throwing it, not really looking at who's over there, not expecting anyone to be there. So great film study there for this Jaguars defense, resulting in a pick six. Edwards will send Sims in motion. It's going to hand off to Duncan to the right. Had a little bit of a lane, but closed quickly. It's going to set up a 2nd and 6 now for the Titans. Duncan able to run for a gain of 4. Alexander Duncan's been the lead horse in this backfield all season long, averaging over 4 yards a carry, and you saw it there. They'll go right back to Duncan to the left, this time with a bigger gain of around 7, fighting forward. The entire Jaguars defense pushing him but refusing to go down. It's going to be a Titans first down. Keeping the ball on the ground, just trying to settle back into this game. It's hard if you're a coach to get your team rallied back up after falling down 21-0, but you can't give up with as much time as you have left on this clock. You just have to think that the Jaguars have put up 21 points as fast as they did. The Titans can answer back and do the exact same thing. You just got to find it. Honey comes in motion to the left side. It's going to be a high snap, handled well by Edwards. Hands it off to Duncan. Duncan steamrolling forward once again for a gain of 4. We'll set up again another 2nd and 6 for the Titans. As Duncan seems to be settling into this game, finding his rhythm. They'll even mark it a gain of 5, so 2nd and 5 for the Titans. As they'll get the play call in from the sideline. A little bit of miscommunication, I think, there. Player trying to check out, then checking right back in for Lee Summit West. So they'll hurry to the line of scrimmage. Sims comes in motion to the left, but they're going to hand off right to Duncan. Once again, Duncan spinning out of a tackle, stumbling forward and keeping those legs burning to the 50-yard line. A gain of around 10 there for Alexander Duncan. Will pick up another first down. So it's been 4 carries in a row for Alexander Duncan, and every single one of them has just been more successful than the last. Looked like Brendan Honey, number 45, the tight end, will limp off the field there. He's an important part of this Titans run game, a great lead blocker. Even though he's listed as a tight end, kind of plays that fullback role for the Titans. So you got to hope he's okay and get back in this game. Is something the Titans are starting to find success in, is that run game. As they'll go 2 receivers to the left. Duncan stays in the game. This time Edwards will pull it and throw it quickly to Harris, breaking to the sideline, up the sideline to the 40, and then tripped up. But there's a flag down back near the line of scrimmage. Would have been a gain of around 10 yards there for Chris Harris, but it's going to be coming back, I believe. So it's going to be holding against the Titans. They're going to get a holding on the outside there that kind of sprung Harris. So an unfortunate call there for the Titans as they're just starting to get some momentum back in this game, establishing that run game, and then taken away by the penalty. One thing they can do with this Blue Springs defense, they like to walk those outside linebackers down as edge rushers, and if you keep running the ball, they're going to keep sending them. They continue to send them. That's just less defensive backs to cover the pass, can maybe open things up. Some quick slants and dump-offs like we saw there. But the penalty will erase the gain on first down, making this a 1st and 20 now for Lee Summit West. They're going to go 3 receivers to the left. Duncan lined up right in the backfield is going to take it, breaking through the first tackle and then fighting forward back near the line of scrimmage, about a yard shy, should set up for a 2nd and 11. As Alexander Duncan has been running hard on this drive. It's been the bright spot in this Titans offense so far. This time they're going to go right back to him, but nowhere to go as Blue Springs is all over that outside carry. And he's going to be slammed down to the ground hard by the defensive end for Blue Springs South. Gammons with the tackle, the defensive end there for Blue Springs South. Duncan will check out of this game as Nehemiah Snipe will check back in at the running back position. So 3rd and 13 now for the Titans after the first time that run didn't go forward for them on this drive. As the officials are quick to stop this play, I believe someone got a timeout in before. So it's going to be a timeout for Lee Summit West. And with that timeout, we're going to take a quick break and be right back here on 810varsity.com.
How does this place make pizza that does that? Honestly, no idea. But I'm going to start looking into it one slice at a time. Buy one single topping pizza and get the second 50% off. It's not crazy. It's Casey's.
As they will try to find a way to convert this 3rd and long. Stacking the box, Blue Springs South showing pressure. Edwards is going to roll out left, trying to evade the pressure, throwing it deep downfield, and it's going to be bobbled and incomplete. Almost had his man. That was Chris Harris on the sideline. Had the one-on-one coverage, but there is a flag down. Possible pass interference against the Jaguars. Could be huge on this 3rd and 13. So it is going to be a pass interference call against Blue Springs South. So a huge turn of events here on 3rd and long for the Titans will result in a first down and a fresh set of downs near the 42-yard line. Excuse me, the 38-yard line. So the Titans will have a fresh set of downs, their first time across the 50. Good snap, handled well. Handed off to Snipe in the backfield. Shaking around, bouncing left, then back right for a gain of around 5 on 1st and 10. Should set up a 2nd and 4, so a gain of 6 out of Snipe. The Titans really establishing the run game on this drive. So 2nd and 4. Snipe will stay in the game at running back, as Duncan is still on the sideline, catching his breath. Edwards takes the snap. It's going to go right back to Snipe, working to the left, shaking through the line of scrimmage and then falling down for the first down, a gain of around 8 for Nehemiah Snipe, as he's really starting to get going in this one as well. We talked about it in the pregame, the running ability of the two backs for Blue Springs, Hawkins and Morgan, but so far it's been Duncan and Sims as well, kind of showing what they can do, trying to get the Titans back into this game. Edwards is going to have 2 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. Duncan will stand and block, taking the role of Honey, who stepped out the tight end. This time Snipe with the run up the middle, nowhere to go. So Brendan Honey, number 45, the 6'1", 200-pound freshman, listed as a tight end, kind of playing that fullback role for West. Got banged up early on his drive. And starting running back, Alexander Duncan, has stepped up into that role, trying to lead block for his backup running back, Snipe. So 2nd and 9 now after the gain of 1 on first. As Edwards is going to roll out to his left and then throw it. It's going to be tipped and batted, almost intercepted, probably should have been intercepted, but will harmlessly fall to the ground. So the Titans catching a break there. Parker Hunt almost had the interception. Unable to haul that one in, though. So now a 3rd and 9 for the Titans, as the pass game has struggled so far for them in this one. The defense that Blue Spring runs gives them 5 DBs on the field at all times. So a really good pass coverage look for the defense. You've got to be able to establish the run when you play one of these lighter sets. This time they're going to go to Snipe, breaking to the right, fighting near the line of scrimmage, or near the first down marker, but he's going to be marked about 2 yards short, I believe. Should set up a 4th and manageable for the Titans, as I expect them to keep the offense down on the field. It's going to be a 4th and 3 for Lee Summit West. So we're down to 4 minutes here to go in the first half of this game, as both teams has really ran the ball, keeping this clock moving in this game, moving right along. The Titans will get into their hurry-up, too, already being down 21-0, trying to find a way to get points here before half on this 4th down. Snipe fighting near it, but won't have enough. It's going to be a turnover on downs for the Titans. 4th and 3, just not able to get it. They had about a gain of 2, marked a yard short. They went to Snipe, who'd had a couple of good carries in a row, but this time just not there. The Jaguars sent everyone, completely went bought out on the run. So with 3:56 to go in the second quarter, the Jaguars will have a chance to go score again. Plenty of time for them to do something here. They still have their timeouts as well and can stop the clock. Wilhelm will have 2 receivers to his right, 1 to the left. He's going to hand it off up the middle. Fighting for yards is Hawkins. Getting a gain of around 3 on first down. Should set up a 2nd and 7. Blue Spring South slows things down a little bit here. Not quite as moving as quick as they were in the opening drive. It's going to be a cutback left with a lot of room to work with. Getting the first down and then some, and then tackled by a whole lot of Titans. It took everyone to bring him down. Another great run there for Blue Spring South, continuing to run the rock. That time it was Darius Morgan, number 26. So Morgan, Hawkins just kind of taking after one another, finding lanes and hitting them. They continue to run the ball very well in this opening half of the game, and they're going to go right back to him. Morgan running over a linebacker and fighting down near the line to gain. Tripped up. They're going to mark him a little bit shorter than I thought. They'll say his knee hit down. So 2nd and 2, but the way they've been running the ball, this seems like they'll just hand it off again, as the Titans are going to have to find some kind of answer here to slow down this Jaguars rushing attack. This time, it's going to be a drop back. Rolling out to the right is Wilhelm. Trying to use his legs. He's got the edge, and he will get it, and then some to the 40, and then stepping out of the 35-yard line is Aiden Wilhelm. You have the 2 great running backs, Hawkins and Morgan, but Wilhelm can do it himself, and he does on that play right there. Was a 2nd and 2. Turns into a first down, and now it's a 35-yard line. The Jaguars are knocking on the door once again. They're going to go 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Tight end will stay in the left. It's going to be handoff up the middle, fighting for a gain of around 5. As every run for this Jaguars team has been successful here in the second quarter. That time it was Hawkins. Finding a lane. for the Jaguars. He's going to go to the left again with Hawkins. Looking to the left, trying to make a man miss, and then cutting back right, making another man miss. Spinning out of another tackle, then diving and tackled down at the 10-yard line is K.J. Hawkins. A really impressive run there. Bouncing it, he took the handoff up the middle, bouncing it out to the left. Getting to the sideline, and the rest was history, making a handful of Titans miss in open space. We'll set up a 1st and goal now from the 10-yard line. They'll still mark it a 1st and 10, a yard shy of 1st and goal. Wilhelm's going to drop back and throw this one into the end zone. He's got a man, but it's going to be overthrown. Trying to go to his tight end in the slot, but unsuccessful. So 2nd and 10. About 11 yards away from the end zone. Jaguars trying to get another touchdown here in this opening half of football. 1:30 to go before halftime. They're going to go trio to the right and then motion a receiver back left, number 15, and then a flag. The officials will stop it. It's going to be a false start against Blue Springs. So this is going to back them up and make this a little bit more challenging. It's going to be 2nd and 15 for the Jaguars. Gavin Nash was in the middle of coming in motion. He started out to the far right in a bunch set. They haven't ran any bunch this game, so it would have been the first time we saw that look, and then kind of motioned him back into their regular formation. They've been running the ball out of a lot this game, but they tried something different, and of course they get the penalty. This time they go 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Wilhelm takes the snap. He's going to keep it himself, fake the handoff, and then throw to the end zone over the head of his intended receiver. Possibly had him open, but too much on that one. Trying to connect with Denny. Wyatt Denny has had a handful of really impressive catches so far in this game, but that time him and Wilhelm not on the same page. So 3rd and 15. It's not been obviously a great first half for the Titans, but something to hang your hat on here at the end of the first half of football would be to stop the Jaguars and hold them to either a field goal or no points at all. A little win can spiral into a few more wins for the Titans as Wilhelm's going to drop back and throw it to the end zone. He's got his man open and in and out of his hands, going right back to Denny. Looked like he had his man beat with a possible touchdown right at the A and Titans in the end zone, but in and out of his hands, not able to haul that one in. So on 4th and 15, about 16 yards away from the end zone, they're going to send out the kicker. The kicker is Hugh Carpenter. And Carpenter's got a pretty solid leg on him. Last week hit a field goal from 48 yards, so this one quite a bit shorter. And then 48, we'll see if he's got it in him. A possible jump there for the Titans as the kick would have been up and good right down the middle, but the flag's going to stop it. We'll see if they got the Titans who moved first. And they did. It's going to be on the Titans, so it's going to move them forward 5 yards. So a decision here if the Jaguars want to keep the kicking unit out or on 4th and 10 if they want to go for it. Talking to Coach Allen about what they want to do. They're going to move him forward, but looks like he's going to leave the kicking unit out there. So I'll have to do it one more time from 5 yards closer. So from the 11-yard line, taking a while for the snap here, and it is off. The kick is up, and it is good. So Carpenter picking up where he left off last week with a great field goal there. Once again, he had to make it twice, but it will count nonetheless. So that'll make your score Blue Springs South 24, Lee Summit West nothing. As we are down to 1 minute and 10 seconds before halftime. We're going to take a quick break here on 810varsity.com and be right back after this word from our sponsors.
Get a shake with your points and some fries on the side with your points. You get more with every order. Woo! Get a Whataburger or a patty melt or some breakfast with the point. You get more with every order. Get a biscuit or a brownie, but no matter what you pick, you get more. Like your favorite Whataburger or whatever, 'cause it all gives you more with Whataburger.
Welcome back to Titan Stadium as Blue Springs South was successful on the field goal attempt. Hugh Carpenter put it right down the middle, had to make it twice after the penalty, but was great both times, and he'll kick it off here. The Titans will elect to not return this one as it will go over the head of Harris. So with 1:10 before halftime, you got to wonder how aggressive are the Titans going to be. Down 24. You definitely want to try to get points here, but on the flip side of that, you don't want to compound the pressure, feeling like you need to get back into this game and score points quickly with making another mistake and digging yourself into a deeper hole. So it'll be interesting to see the plan of attack here for the Titans. Because obviously this game has not gone to plan so far. They'll go 3 receivers to the left. Sims will line up top of the screen as Blue Springs will kind of play back with their slot corner and then have the 2 safeties, so really kind of watching anything deep downfield. Edwards is going to do a pitch pass forward to Sims, trying to find a lane, and tackled from behind after a gain of around 7 or 8. They'll give him 9, actually, so that'll set up a 3rd and 1 as the clock will move here. So 2nd and 1, the Titans will hurry things up, obviously taking the aggressive route, trying to get points to get back into this game. Edwards is going to hand this one off to Duncan. Duncan's going to cut back and break forward for a gain of around 10 to the 40-yard line. So 42 seconds to go before halftime. The Titans will continue to hurry things up here. 1st and 10 from the 40-yard line. The clock is running. Titans will need to speed things up here. 2 receiver to the left, 2 to the right for Edwards. Edwards is going to take the snap, drop back, and throw it quickly, but batted off the hands and off the ground. Trying to go to Tavion Sims in the slot, unable to bring that one in. Not something we see a lot out of Sims. He's been pretty sure-handed all season long for the Titans, just unable to bring that one in. That will stop the clock, however, so a 2nd and 10 with 24 seconds to go for the Titans. As now Blue Springs is playing way off, giving around 10 yards a cushion. So the DBs will actually be 7 yards off, and the safety's almost 20 yards back. Really just watching anything downfield. Harris will check into that Wildcat look. Edwards will roll out right. Harris will keep it himself up the middle with a big lane to the 50, spinning and falling down after the first down, a gain of around 14, but 17.7 seconds to go before halftime. The Titans will hurry up to the line of scrimmage. As soon as this gets set, the clock will start running again. And it's going to be a timeout here, I believe, that will stop the clock. So timeout, Lee Summit West. They'll stop the clock with 14 seconds to go here. So we're going to take a quick break before the conclusion of this first half of football here on 810varsity.com.
Kitchen feeling a little empty? How about your car? Go ahead, fill your cart or your tank. You're a Chopper shopper. Chopper shoppers earn points every time they shop at Price Chopper. Then they can choose how to spend them. Select from free items in the Price Chopper app and load them onto your card. Or save on fuel at Quick Trip. Get 25 cents off per gallon for every 500 rewards points. Become a Chopper shopper and start saving even more today.
Welcome back to Titan Stadium. So 14 seconds to go before halftime. Lee Summit West has the ball just past midfield, trying to find any points here in the first half. Possibly just taking a shot here. Edwards will to the end zone as Blue Springs South is backed way up. Edwards will drop back, looking downfield, getting ready to show off the arm strength possibly. And he's going to throw it short, and it's going to be at the feet of Chris Harris, still with 7 seconds to go. So 2nd and 10 from right around the 45-yard line. It's going to be, the 47-yard line. A 2nd and 10 with 7 seconds here. Probably one more play before halftime. Edwards that time rolled out right, just trying to find anybody open. He did have Harris open in the middle of the field, but not able to get enough mustard on that pass to get it there. So it'll set up now. Last play of the half, more than likely. They'll go 5 wide. as Edwards will just drop back and look downfield. He's just going to throw it and launch it as far as he can. That's got a shot to the end zone, and it's going to be intercepted in the end zone by the Jaguars, who are just going to walk out of the end zone, and that will send us to halftime here. As we hit double zeros, Edwards really launched that football, making it to the end zone from his own 50-yard line, so a 50-yard launch. But only one receiver in the vicinity to 5 or 4 Jaguars able to get an easy interception there. So we're going to take a quick break here on 810varsity.com, a quick halftime break. Blue Springs South 24, Lee Summit West nothing, as they'll have to talk about a lot at halftime and figure out what they can do to get back into this football game.
What's up, Auntie? Did you get the basketball shoes I need for tryouts this weekend?
Oh, dude,
It's okay.
I'm not going to be able to make it to Dick's this week.
You can just click on Dix.com.
Dicks.com. Dicks.com.
Hi, welcome to Dix.com.
Wow, they're beautiful.
Let's go shopping.
Are you kidding me? I'm in ball heaven. I like you. Look at all these cups. I really like you. I don't even live near water.
Whoa, these arrived so fast.
I know, right? You're about to get posterized. I'm going to shatter that
Come on, let's go.
Dicks.com.
How does this place make pizza that does that? Honestly, no idea. But I'm gonna start looking into it one slice at a time. Buy one single topping pizza and get the second 50% off. It's not crazy. It's Casey's.
Welcome back to Titan Stadium as we are all set and ready to go for this second half of football here on 810varsity.com. Blue Springs will kick it off to the Titans, who elected to defer at the beginning of the first half, and this one will bounce into the end zone for a touchback, and the Titans will take over. They find themselves down 24-0. They have a big hole if they want to get the dig out of, if they want to get back into this game. A quick look around the Metro at some important games to keep your eye on in this last week of regular season football as we get ready for the playoffs. Liberty North Eagles are beating the Blue Springs Wildcats 21-14. Raymore Peculiar trails the Staley Falcons 17-13. And the big shocker so far, Lee Summit is beating Lee Summit North 28-16. So the number one team in the Metro is on the ropes right now coming out of halftime. First play of the half, Edwards is going to hand the ball up the middle to Duncan. Duncan's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and then driven backwards. So no gain there on first down. Will set up a 2nd and 10 for this Titans, who try to set into this game and get going here in the second half. A week ago, Lee Summit West was on the road going against Lee Summit North. That was a close game for most of it. Ended up with Lee Summit North coming out with the victory, continuing to be the number one team in the Metro. They pulled off the 37-17, but the score really doesn't make that game as close as it was, as Edwards will roll out left here, decide to keep it himself and take off, breaking back to the right with a little bit of real estate. He's going to reach and lower his shoulder down for the first down. So a 2nd and 10 will be turned into a first down. Move the ball to around the 32-yard line, so a fresh set of downs for Lee Summit West. In that game, they had a lot of opportunities, the Titans, that is, to be the team to knock off Lee Summit North. Just not happening there. A late interception in that game sealed their fate as well. But it was a 4-point game. They had the ball down 4 and just weren't able to execute when they needed to down the stretch in that game against North. But now you're going to see, watching the other two teams in this city, Lee Summit now being the team to possibly knock off Lee Summit North. Edwards will have 3 receivers to his left. He's going to hand it off to Duncan once again, who runs into his own man, had nowhere to go. As Duncan goes down quickly there. So similar to their first attempt, this time he actually will lose about a half a yard. So it'll be 2nd and 11 now for the Titans. As we've talked about it in the first half, they got to start scoring, and it's every drive I've said it. You know, it's important to find points in this drive, but it really is getting to the point where if they want a chance to find themselves back into this football game and make this a competitive game once again, they're going to need to find points here on this opening drive. Not even to prove that they can get back into this self, but prove it to themselves that they are okay and they can settle in and find ways to score. This time they're going to hand it off up the middle once again, but he's going to be tripped up and fall down near the line of scrimmage. Should keep it at 3rd and 11 now for the Titans. There'll be no gain. So Duncan, with a couple of unsuccessful runs as well as Snipe, will check out here. So a 3rd and 11. Blue Springs South has really been sending some pressure on 3rd and longs, forcing Edwards to roll out, which is kind of where he's comfortable. He likes to roll out to the right or to the left and kind of get outside of the pocket to find people downfield, but the pressure almost contains him with the way that linebackers come off the edge at their tackles. So we'll see if they send the pressure here. They back off. Looks like they were going to send it, but a flag was thrown before that play got going, so hold everything here. It's going to be a timeout for Lee Summit West early in this game, so a 3rd and 11. We're going to take a quick break here on 810varsity.com and have a word from our sponsors.
What's up, Auntie? Did you get the basketball shoes I need for tryouts this weekend?
Oh, dude,
It's okay.
I'm not going to be able to make it to Dick's this week.
You can just click on Dix.com.
Dicks.com. Dicks.com.
Hi, welcome to Dix.com.
Wow, they're beautiful.
Let's go shopping.
Are you kidding me? I'm in ball heaven. I like you. Look at all these cups. I really like you. I don't even live near water.
Whoa, these arrived so fast.
I know, right? You're about to get posterized. I'm gonna shit out of that
Come on, let's go.
Dick's.com.
Welcome back to Titan Stadium. It is a 3rd and 11 to start this second half of football for the Titans, facing a 3rd down. 3rd and long, that is, as they will try to crawl and claw back into this football game. And it will have to start here with an all-important early 3rd down. They'll go 2 receivers to the left. Duncan lined up to the left of Edwards. Edwards is going to drop back, looking downfield. He's going to throw it. He's got A receiver open. He's got his man beaten. It's going to be dropped. Possibly not able to get to that one. He had his popular target, Chris Harris, on the deep throw there by Edwards, but just a little bit offline, and that really is an example of how this entire night has gone for the Titans. Just so close, but not able to connect. They've had a handful of plays like that, so now 4th and 11 on their own 30-yard line. They'll line up to go for it here, and we're going to see a timeout for Blue Springs South, so it would have been an early 4th and 11 on your own 30-yard line. I know you're down 24-0, but a very gutsy call. So with that timeout by the Jaguars, we're going to take a quick break with them and be right back here on 810varsity.com. Welcome back to Titan Stadium. As this time the punting unit will check onto the field for them. They won't go for it. Mishandles the punt here, not able to get it, and tries to fall down but not able to. This is a really unfortunate turn of events for the Titans, as that is going to be now a turnover on downs for the Jaguars, as they're going to take over around the 15-yard line, already in the red zone. So what bad turns into worse, a mishandled punt there by the Titans. You know, before that, they left the offense out there, which scared the Jaguars into burning the timeout to readdress everything, and then they settle for the punt, but this time just no time at all. They've had troubles with the punting unit earlier in the season. Those had kind of gone away down the stretch, but that time it wasn't even a slow punt. It was just a bad handle, a bad snap. So that sets the Jaguars up in a great position to strike here early. They're going to go a handoff right off the middle to Hawkins, who already has a touchdown in this game. KJ Hawkins working for a gain of around 6 or 7. We'll get him down to about the 6-yard line. So 2nd and 4 here for the Jaguars. They're going to go right back to him. This time met at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards, trying to spin and back out to the right, but nowhere to go. So he'll be brought down at or behind the line of scrimmage, making this a 3rd down. So this Titans defense trying to step up here and hold the Jaguars to a field goal attempt, erasing the misfortune on the punt. 3rd and 4. Jaguars will send 2 receivers out to the right, 1 to the left here. It's going to be a handoff. He's going to keep it himself and then stroll into the end zone as Wilhelm. Wilhelm will walk right into the end zone on the quarterback keeper. He showed his legs time in and time again tonight, and he does it one more time there as he will walk into the end zone, making the score Blue Springs South 30, Lee Summit West nothing, with the extra point to follow. So the Titans defense forced the 3rd down, but not able to come through. They had Darius Morgan. They faked the handoff to him, and Aiden Wilhelm takes off. Wilhelm's been an extremely important part of this Jaguars offense tonight and all season long, as the extra point is up and it is good. That'll make the score Blue Springs 31, Lee Summit West, Blue Springs South 31, Lee Summit West nothing. So when we get back, it'll be Titans offense one more time to see if they can find something. We're going to be right back after this word from the sponsors on 810varsity.com.
Kitchen feeling a little empty? How about your car? Go ahead, fill your cart or your tank. You're a Chopper shopper. Chopper shoppers earn points every time they shop at Price Chopper. Then they can choose how to spend them. Select from free items in the Price Chopper app and load them onto your card. Or save on fuel at Quick Trip. Get 25 cents off per gallon for every 500 rewards points. Become a Chopper shopper and start saving even more today.
Welcome back to Titan Stadium as Lee Summit West is set to receive the ball here. The opening drive for the Titans, they had a 4th and 11. They elected to punt from their own 30-yard line. A mishandled punt resulted in a great starting field position for the Jaguars, who were able to execute off that starting field position and find themselves into the end zone. It was Aiden Wilhelm who strolled into the end zone on around a 10-yard quarterback keeper. This kick is going to be off and away over the head of Taylor, and the Titans offense will take over as they are really running out of opportunities in this game. Now down 31-0. This Titans team has really had an interesting season. I mean, obviously from the get-go it started out pretty shaky for them, but they kind of settled into their offensive identity, and the defense was able to find stops in important games when they really needed it to get a couple of wins down the stretch before their loss last week to Lee Summit North, which I'll say it again, they really had an opportunity to win that game. They could have got the massive win over the #1 team in the Metro. Before that, they had just beaten Staley and Ray Peck. I know those are lower teams in the Metro, but still was a back-to-back. They were on a winning streak. You just got to think if they could have possibly pulled off that upset over Lee Summit North a week ago, how would this team be playing right now? There's a late substitution here as the play clock's running down, and it's going to be a delay of game on the Titans. So on a night where just seemingly nothing can go the Titans' way, they're going to put one more thing against them. It's going to be a delay of game. It's going to be 1st and even longer now, as 1st and 10 turns into a 1st and 15. And we'll try to keep you updated, too, on those scores we were talking about a minute ago, especially that Lee Summit against Lee Summit North. Lee Summit was leading at halftime. Going to go to a jet sweep here, trying to pitch it to Taylor, but once again, this play is going to be stopped before it gets going as another flag is down. The officials talking about it, trying to see the play call here. It's going to be a false start on the Titans, so move them back a little bit more. It's going to be 1st and now 20. So 1st and 20, as obviously this second half of football really kind of picking up where they did in the first half with just seemingly not a great game so far for them, as they'll see if they can get anything here on this 1st and 20. A long ways to go for the first down. Edwards takes the snap, drops back, looking downfield, rolling out right, has a lot of time here. He's going to throw it and then skip it in at the feet of his receiver, trying to get it to Sims. As you just got a feel for some of these Titans football players, especially the seniors. Your last game of the regular season, your last regular season game as a high school football player, obviously not the way you wanted this to go. They still have the playoff game. More than likely will be playing on November 1st. They're going to go to a quick screen here to the right. It's going to be caught with room to work with. Fighting back to the original line of scrimmage. A gain of around 10 should set up a 3rd and 10 now for the Titans. So 3rd and 11, excuse me. So they're going to get a little bit longer. So a similar look to what we had on the first drive. Last time on the 3rd and 11, it was an incompletion. We'll see what they had this time. They went deep on 3rd and 11 last time. They almost had Chris Harris downfield. It's going to be a handoff up the middle, just nowhere to go. The Jaguars defense is all over it. And he'll be brought down 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to make it 4th and 13 for the Titans. They will more than likely have to punt this ball away. And I think on the flip side of that, you're going to see the Jaguars just kind of starting to run the ball here. So 4th and 12, they'll leave the offense out there on their own 15-yard line, about their own 17-yard line. See if they'll actually go for it here. Try to get the jump off sides, and looks like they might have. We'll see what the officials say here. Going to go against the Jaguars, so it's going to move them forward a little bit here for the Titans. If they do decide to go for it, maybe a little bit more manageable now for the Titans. Still 4th down, but should be now 4th and 7 instead of 4th and 12 for Lee Summit West. We'll go 2 receivers to the bottom of the screen, 1 all alone to the top. They're going to switch things up here. They're going to switch to their punt formation, so Edwards will drop back as the punter and boot this one away himself. A short punt. It'll take a little bit of a Titans bounce and then roll and then be downed by the Titans around the 45-yard line, about the 46. So that is where the Jaguars will take over, up 31-0. You got to think for them, it won't be much longer if they can keep this lead up with the starters out there, and it really won't be much longer passing. They might, for a little while, get into some more plays they've maybe been working on, trying to get ready for their playoff run. As with the win tonight, the Jaguars' successful season will continue as they'll improve to 7-2 on the season. With obviously the only thing they've got their mindset on now is trying to win state. There'll be a handoff working to the left side, making a man miss, and then brought down after a gain of around 6 goes Darius Morgan. That'll set up 2nd and around 3. 2nd and a long 2 is what they'll call it. As Morgan stays in the game and they go to him one more time, and he'll dive forward for the 1st down. So they'll set up a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 now. The Titans 45 now as they cross midfield, trying to move forward. Drop back here for Wilhelm. He's going to throw it to his man in the flat. That's going to be number 23, Hawkins, who stutter steps at the 35 and then dives out at the 30. There's a flag down, though, in the backfield. Possible holding against the Jaguars. We'll see. Going to be exactly holding against Blue Springs South, so they'll erase what would have been a 1st down on 1st and 10 for the Jaguars, and they'll have to do it all over again from a little bit further. So a great opportunity for this Titans defense to find a stop. It'll now be 1st and 20 for Lee Summit West. So 1st and 20. I'll go 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Excuse me, 1 receiver to the left. Tight end offset the left tackle. Wilhelm will take it and hand it off up the middle. Fighting for yardage goes, I believe that was Hawkins that time. The Jaguars do a really good job of keeping Hawkins and Morgan, both of their running backs, in there. Kind of their two-headed monster in the backfield, keeping both of them fresh, not really overusing either one of them, allowing them to just stay fresh throughout the game. And in a game like this, with the playoffs going forward, you got to wonder how much longer they're going to run them. It's going to be a run to the right this time. I believe that's Hawkins blowing her shoulder and running over a man and then shredding another tackle. A huge gain there for KJ Hawkins. Be enough for a 1st down. It was 2nd and 16, turns into a 1st down after around a 20-yard run there for KJ Hawkins, the 5'8", 200-pound senior. They'll keep the box stacked, but Wilhelm will drop back and launch it. He's got a man open. It's going to be caught at the 20-yard line, possibly bobbled, but they'll say he held on to it. Goes number 6. That's going to be Tegan Williams. His 1st action of the night. We haven't said his name very much. So now a 1st and 10 from the 20 as the Jaguars are already in the red zone, trying to extend on already a 31-0 lead. Wilhelm will hand it off up the middle to Hawkins once again, who bounces off the defensive end and then fights forward, drugged down from behind. Will be 2nd and around 4 yards to go. As Hawkins has had a really impressive drive so far, accounting for most of the yards this drive for Blue Springs South. the officials talking about it might have been a flag down here. So it's an official timeout. A banged up player. It's like number 33. That's going to be A.J. Fain, the 5'10", 180-pound senior for Lee Summit West, was banged up on that play. He's been an important part of this Titans defense all season long. Their starting middle linebacker, he'll check out and luckily able to walk out off the field under his own power, and he's talking with the trainer now on the sideline. So 2nd and around 4 to go for Blue Springs South. They'll keep it on the ground here, working to the outside, and then cutting back left, trying to find anywhere to go. But the Titans that time, really good pursuit to the outside, not letting Darius Morgan find anywhere to go. Excuse me, that was KJ Hawkins. Keeping him boxed in on that attempt. As now Darius Morgan will check in to the backfield, and off goes KJ Hawkins. Morgan will take it running to the left up the middle, right behind his lineman, and he's going to stroll into the end zone for a touchdown. The Jaguars will grow this lead now to 37. Another touchdown, as they've shown that they're just going to run the ball down the middle for probably the rest of this game. Only 2 pass attempts for the Jaguars on that last offensive possession. Unable to find the end zone. So the extra point to follow for Blue Springs South. Darius Morgan able to find the end zone. So now Hawkins and Morgan have both had a touchdown in this one. A mishandled snap, possibly a designed 2-point conversion, but Lee Summit West is all over it, and it will be no good. This is the kind of things you see sometimes in games like this. Obviously, Blue Springs South testing out some plays possibly they might have to go to in the playoffs, but unsuccessful here on the fake PAT 2-point attempt. So that'll keep your score. Blue Springs South 37, Lee Summit West nothing. We're going to take a quick break here on 810varsity.com and have a word from our sponsors.
Dad, don't forget about my new cleats.
Sweetie, I can't make it to Dick's this week.
Have you heard of Dix.com?
Have I heard of Dix.com? Have I heard of Dix.com? Whoa.
Don't overthink it. Let's go shopping.
Actually, what I need are some cleats.
How about one of these?
Great.
Done. Anything else?
Now,
Golf clubs?
Not
Yep.
for me, for
Yeah,
a friend.
of course,
I'm
of
just
course.
anyone impressed with how fast that was?
Yeah,
I know. I went to
my
Dix.com.
cleats. Thank you, I love you.
Well, I went to Dix.com. Ever heard of it?
Yeah, I told you about that.
Welcome back to Titan Stadium as Blue Springs South will kick this one off. Back to the Titans. We have around 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. So I expect to, next time the Jaguars come out, to probably start seeing some backups check in to the game for them, possibly some seniors here that haven't got a lot of playing time throughout the season. One thing that is interesting about this Blue Springs South offense and defense is there's just not a whole lot of seniors on that team. So the Titans will come back out. Dawson Edwards, the junior quarterback, still has all of next season to look forward to, as this will more than likely make them fall to a final record of 3-6 on the regular season. Not the season, obviously, they wanted, but something they'll just have to grow on. Dawson Edwards has shown signs of impressive quarterback play. We'll see what he has in the store for this team next regular season. They're going to go to that. Edwards will motion out to the right, and in comes the receiver. It's going to be Harris at quarterback, but just brought down. He kept it himself and nowhere to go. Excuse me, actually at quarterback, checking in for the Titans. We've seen this a handful of times throughout the season, is Nicholas Newbold, the senior quarterback. Like we said, Dawson Edwards is a junior, so they're probably going to let their senior quarterback get a little bit of playing time in his last season. So 2nd and 12 after the unsuccessful Wildcat play out of Lee Summit West. Newbold will take the snap and drop back, looking downfield. He's going to swing it to Snipe out of the backfield, caught at the 20-yard line and immediately brought down by 2 Jaguars defenders. Jabari Howard there with the coverage and the tackle for Blue Springs South. So 3rd and 11. Now for Newbold, the new quarterback checking in for the Titans. See if the Titans can find something to hang their hat on moving on to the playoffs. If they're able to find the end zone here late in this game, just something to build on in the next week, could be important for them. Low snap, handled by Newbold's going to look downfield, feeling pressure, rolling out right. It's got enough time to launch it downfield into double coverage, but incomplete, as they will draw a flag. Trying to go to Tavion Sims. He was being held from behind. 2 Jaguars on the coverage. I believe the flag is going to be thrown on Marshall. Also might have possibly gotten Parker Hunt for the pass interference there. So defensive holding on the Jaguars. So not pass interference. We'll make this 3rd and 1, so it's not a first down. 3rd and 1, a 10-yard penalty on the defensive holding. So they still need to get 1 yard here to keep this drive alive for the Titans. As Snipe is lined up in the backfield behind Newbold, and he will get the carry, bouncing it to the right and then shaking back left. He'll have enough for the first down and then a little bit more down at around the 35-yard line. See if they'll mark him actually at the 36. So Nehemiah Snipe finding a positive gain there for the Titans on 3rd and 1. Get them a fresh set of downs. We're now down to 35 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter. We'll see if the Titans get one more play off here before the 4th quarter. They do have 20 seconds of the play clock, so they'll have to go one more. They will just hand it off to Snipe once again, running into the backs of his linemen and then brought down by a pack of Jaguars. Just really nowhere to go, and I believe that will end the first half. Xavier Gammons, the 3rd quarter. Gammons with the tackle for the Jaguars. And that will end the 3rd quarter. And with the end of the 3rd quarter, we're going to take a quick break here on 810varsity.com and be back for 4th quarter football and the conclusion of this football game.
Get a shake with your points and some fries on the side with your points. You get more with every order. Woo! Get a Whataburger or a patty melt or some breakfast with the points. You get more with every order. Get a biscuit or a brownie, but no matter what you pick, you get more. Like your favorite Whataburger or whatever, 'cause it all gives you more with Whataburger Rewards.
How does this place make pizza that does that? Honestly, no idea. But I'm going to start looking into it one slice at a time. Buy one single topping pizza and get the second 50% off. It's not crazy. It's Casey's.
Welcome back to Titan Stadium. As Lee Summit West will remain on offense. They've been methodically moving down the field so far at the end of the 3rd quarter, finding a couple of first downs for them. So now a 2nd and 7 to begin the 4th quarter. Dawson Edwards has checked out of the game. It is Newbold, the senior quarterback, now in. He's going to hand it off, roll out right, fake the handoff, but he's got a lot of pressure, and he'll just be forced to chuck this one to the sideline and incomplete. So now it'll be 3rd and 7 for Lee Summit West. We'll see if they go with the hard count. They did earlier on 3rd down, and they were able to get the Jaguars to jump off sides. A Snipe will stay in the backfield. Haven't seen a lot of Alexander Duncan as well ever since we saw Dawson Edwards check out. Snipe has been the main running back so far here in the 2nd half, and they will have a flag here on the far side. It's going to be a false start against the Titans, so the opposite of what I said would need to happen to make this third down a little bit easier on themselves. They're going to push themselves back 5 yards and make this a 3rd and 12 now. So we'll see Newbold more than likely have to throw this one downfield. It's been a quiet night for a lot of the players here in the receiving corps. That the Titans have never really got the passing game going in this one. The 5 defensive backs that the Jaguars run out on the field at all times does make this a harder defense to throw the ball against. As Chris Harris and Tavion Sims really haven't done a lot so far. The officials will blow this one dead. Going to be a timeout by Lee Summit West. And with that timeout, we're going to take a break with them and be right back here on 810varsity.com.
Kitchen feeling a little empty? How about your car? Go ahead, fill your cart or your tank. You're a chopper shopper. Chopper shoppers earn points every time they shop at Price Chopper. Then they can choose how to spend them. Select from free items in the Price Chopper app and load them onto your card. Or save on fuel at Quick Trip. Get 25 cents off per gallon for every 500 rewards points. Become a chopper shopper and start saving even more today.
Welcome back to Titan Stadium. It's a 3rd and 12 here. They're going to go with a triple option. Trying to find anywhere is Sims, breaking back to the left and then brought down near the line of scrimmage. So all the trickery for the Titans results in nothing. Tavion Sims was the last one to have the ball. They're trying to fight for extra yards. Will now make it a 4th and 12. See if the Titans want to go for this. It looks like they're just going to punt this one away. So to me, that shows the Titans are officially throwing in the towel in this game. They're going to just punt this one back to the Jaguars and see if the Jaguars will just run the clock out. And good sportsmanship. Last week, we didn't see a good sign of sportsmanship in the matchup against Lee Summit West and Lee Summit North. Something I had never seen before. Lee Summit North late in that game, up 37-17. They had the ball in the 4th quarter, ran a fake quarterback knee and threw a Hail Mary. So that was interesting. But we'll see if Blue Springs South wants to just run this ball. We'll see if they find the end zone again. Still a lot of time here. You'd have to think they'll probably find the end zone one more time before this is all said and done if they just run the ball, unless their coach tells them not to score. But definitely a rough night so far for the Titans. Punting that one away. The Jaguars will take over at the 41-yard line. We'll see what the game plan is here for them, as it does look like some backups have started to check in for the Jaguars, which not very surprising. We'll have to see who's at quarterback now. I believe it is not Wilhelm. Going to be a handoff up the middle. Nowhere to go. That'll make it a 2nd and around 9 for the Jaguars. Blue Springs will head to the line of scrimmage here. 2nd and 9. A 1-yard carry on 1st down. This time it's going to be a handoff once again. Trying to find anywhere to go, maybe getting back to the line of scrimmage, but then brought down is the running back. That was Gage Stewart with the carry there for Blue Springs South. Number 12 will head down to the bottom of your screen. Solden Muhammad. It's going to be a quarterback keeper for Blue Springs for a positive gain of around 7 or 8. Will make this a 4th down. Number 16 breaking to the left, looking similar to their starting quarterback, showing like Wilhelm, he's got legs to make it past the line of scrimmage and then some. And they'll send out the punting unit and punt this ball back to the Titans. So Blue Springs South going with their backups, running the clock down a little bit, taking off around 3 minutes there. We'll get the ball back to the Titans here late in the 4th quarter. As this punt is high, and it's going to bounce at around the 25 and then roll to the 15. A couple of players are bouncing on it. I'm not sure that didn't touch a Titan. That might be Jaguars football. We'll see what they say. They'll say they down it. So it didn't touch a Titan. It'll be the Lee Summit West football at the 10-yard line as the clock is now just going to run out. So 6 minutes left until the end of this game. Running clock has started. Looking forward for both of these teams. Obviously, Blue Springs South with an impressive season, going to 7-2 on the year. They were the number 10 team in the 8-10 varsity top 25 coming into this game. Number 10 team in the Metro. We'll see what that does to them. We'll see where they shake out in the playoffs as well. Newbold will hand this off to Snipe up the middle, fighting to around the 13 or 12-yard line, but not a lot to work with there. So obviously, more than likely, the Jaguars, almost confirmed now, will get a week off, get to avoid the initial round of the district quarterfinals. So the next game will be on November 8th for Lee Summit West. We'll have to see how some things shake out, especially that Ray-Peck Staley game, but West might be playing in those district quarterfinals on November 1st. Newbold will take it and roll out right. Looking downfield, Harris is getting grabbed and touched and thrown around. That should draw a flag out, but they're not going to throw one. Late in this game, I think they're just letting the clock run. Chris Harris just never really had a chance on that one, just being pushed around by the defensive backs. Definitely was pass interference, no doubt about it, but I get it. The officials, 4:40 left to go. There's no chance that West is obviously going to come back in this game, so just letting the clock continue to run. West really, we'll see what they do here. 3rd down and around 6. They'll go 3 receivers spread out wide to the left of Newbold. Duncan is in the backfield to pick up a nice block and give Newbold the time to get the ball out. And that's going to be caught for a gain of around 3. So 4th and 3 for the Titans. So we are now hitting that 4-minute marker in the 4th quarter, as the punt unit will check onto the field for Lee Summit West, and they'll probably punt this ball away possibly one more time in this game. Blue Springs South will be set to return the punt. An update score in that important Lee Summit over Lee Summit North. The number 1 team in the Metro is still trailing 28-16. So Lee Summit with a chance to pull off the huge upset. That'll be fair caught and fielded well by the return man for Blue Springs South at around the 45-yard line. So that's where the Jaguars offense will take over in this game. It was Ryan Blatch was the quarterback for the Jaguars. The drive to go number 16. We'll see who checks in at quarterback this time, as the Jaguars are rubbing it in at this point, celebrating, doing a little swag surf on the far sideline. They'll come to the line of scrimmage, set up 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the bottom of the screen. Good snap's going to be handoff up the middle. working for yards and then fighting forward for a gain of around 7 on first down. Is Bristow. The sophomore running back getting a little bit of action, the junior quarterback. Some of these guys that might be asked to step up next year, getting an early opportunity to get out on the field in a varsity Friday night football game. Solden Mohammed is a senior at the bottom of the screen, and I keep looking down there. I want him to give him a jump ball. He's 6'7". Really tall wide receiver for Blue Springs South. Out here on the field now. They will run the ball here for a first down. On third down, it was third and around 6. This time will be a 1st and 10 now. We're down to a minute 25 left to go here in the fourth quarter. As that should all but do it here. A few more snaps. This game will be over. We'll see what these teams draw when the playoff bracket comes out and where they're going to have to go. West will probably be on the road, but Blue Springs will probably get that home game to start out the playoffs. So this is the last home game for the Titans of the season, more than likely. Be a handoff up the middle once again. Breaking to the left and then off to the races, showing some speed from the backup running back and then stepping out of bounds at around the 10-yard line with 40 seconds left to go. They don't need to run another play in this game, as now the play clock is set at 35 and the game clock at 33. We'll see if Blue Springs South decides to call one more, and they won't, as players will run off to the sideline, and that will end this football game. So players are setting up at the 50-yard line to shake hands and conclude this regular season of the 2024 high school, Missouri high school football season. Blue Springs South will improve to 7-2 on the season with their 37-0 win over the Lee Summit West Titans. The Titans will fall to 3-6 on the season. That'll do it. Best of luck to both these teams going forward into the playoffs. Obviously, Blue Springs South looking to make a deep run. A game like this to build confidence on can be detrimental to a team going into the playoffs. But that'll do it here on 810varsity.com. I've been Cade Ricketts on the call. Until next time, good night.